Happily Adventures After. I am London. It is great to have you here with us. I am so happy that you have come back to our Happily Adventures After Hey Disney Top 10, a podcast style discussion on each specific top 10 topics in a Disney area. As you know, and for those of you who don't, we chose to call it Hey Disney Top 10 because of the recent upgrades to the Walt Disney World resorts, which feature the Amazon Alexa's Hey Disney overlay. And these Hey Disney overlays provide the users and the guests of Walt Disney World the opportunity to play games on it, learn information about Walt Disney World as well as facts. It shares information about the Disney parks, all while acting as your personal room resort concierge. So you can communicate with the front desk, you can see the different park hours, anything along those lines. And truly, I really do hope that this podcast will allow you to be like that virtual concierge interaction, spreading information and facts about Walt Disney World, sharing our experiences, anything along those lines. So we really are thankful and happy to have you back here on our Hey Disney Top 10. As you know, Hey Disney Top 10 has various topics that we discuss each week on a Wednesday about Walt Disney World, whether it be park items, attractions, food, travel tips, whatever it is, you name it. We also hope to expand into Disneyland, Disney Cruise, Adventures by Disney, and so many other things. We also step outside of the Walt Disney World bubble, keeping it within the area, but again, branching out and doing a little bit more. This week, we're going to do just that. We are stepping outside of the Walt Disney World bubble yet again and going over to Universal Orlando Resorts. Here on Happily Adventures After, we're going to focus on Universal Orlando Resorts as a whole for this top 10. It includes parks, CityWalk, and the resorts as a whole. I've only been to Universal Orlando Resorts a handful of times in my life, and I can't get into the nitty-gritty of it like I can for Walt Disney World. I can, however, speak on my handful of experiences there and what I have seen from it and provide that top 10 to you based on that. Because there are some parts of Universal that I really do like, and oftentimes people will utilize Universal Orlando in conjunction with Walt Disney World Resorts when they go down for a vacation to either of these destinations. So I wanted to provide that to you. So this top 10 is going to be for, like I said, everything of Universal Orlando as a whole, but I hope to do a more specific park-related top 10 moving forward when I get more time to go to Universal Orlando Resorts, especially when Epic Universe opens. And I'd also actually really like to go to Volcano Bay. Okay, so that was enough chatting. Without further ado, in no particular order, here are our Hey Disney top 10 for Universal Orlando Resorts as a whole. Our first 10 I want to talk to you about is the Universal Studios Orlando attraction, Men in Black Alien Attack. For those of you who do not know, Universal describes Men in Black Alien Attack as an interactive alien-based blasting ride located in the World Expo section of Universal Studios Orlando within the Universal Orlando Resort. This ride takes guests inside the iconic Men in Black headquarters, where you're able to be recruited as a trainee agent tasked with protecting the Earth from an alien invasion. As you board your sleek 6-passenger vehicle, you're equipped with a laser blaster to zap any animatronic aliens that are scattered throughout the streets of New York City. This ride has a competitive aspect that allows you to play with other riders to rack up points for each alien you hit. You battle not only the extraterrestrials that are here in New York City, but also the other people in your vehicle. The epitome of this ride is when a massive alien tests your skills before the final showdown in the Men in Black headquarters to get you just blasted away. With immersive animatronics, a fun storyline, and a really good sense of humor, this ride immerses you in the world of Men in Black while putting you within the alien blasting abilities and all of that to the test. Okay, can you tell by my enthusiasm? I really enjoy Men in Black. I love this attraction. And I think it's one of my favorite rides ever, and one of the main reasons why I want to visit Universal Orlando alone. Like, seriously, I would go back just for this ride time in and time out. I'm a huge fan of the Men in Black franchise, the first 3. I'm going to make that clear. And I think this ride is amazing. I've been a fan of Men in Black since I was probably 4, which is really weird for me because I don't like anything spooky, scary, alien, anything like that. And especially as a kid, I didn't like that. I was terrified of it. But I love Men in Black. Absolutely love it. So this ride brings the movies to life for me in such a huge, fun, interactive way. I love the competitive elements of the blasters. It's like Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin for those of you who are at Walt Disney World or Toy Story Midway Mania, where you're shooting at things and trying to rack up those points. And I think it's really fun to be competitive with the people that are with you in your party, as well as if you're somebody who's obscenely competitive like myself with the people that are riding in the vehicle, because I have a huge competitive streak, especially when you play games. I just really do love this attraction, and I think it's really fun, and I enjoy it, and I would want to ride it over and over and over without any distractions, and one day I'm just going to keep going back for it. So that is why this had to make our list. All right, second I want us to talk about is the VelociCoaster queue over at Islands of Adventure. For those of you who do not know, VelociCoaster is a thrilling high-speed roller coaster located in the Jurassic Park section of Island of Adventure in Universal Orlando Resorts. Okay? So it's in that park. The ride takes place in Isla Nublar, so we're in the Jurassic World, not Jurassic Park original, the Jurassic World franchise. So you're able to immerse yourself within the Jurassic World theme park from the movies, where you are in a high-speed, high adrenaline chase along some of the best predators from the franchise, which are the velociraptors. Before boarding, guests can experience the VelociCoaster queue, which is spectacular. The queue is designed to immerse you in the world of Jurassic World and has a ton of details and movie references throughout. As you enter, you pass through the original Jurassic World's raptor paddock, so cool, with an atmosphere that builds tension and excitement with audio cues, raptor-themed displays, and super lifelike velociraptors, as well as the various characters from the film. Now, the velociraptors that are there are Blue and Delta, as well as the rest of the pack. Like I said, other characters' items that are in there are people like Claire and Owen, and it makes you feel part of the Jurassic World experience. The overall experience within the queue really accumulates when you have the pulse-pounding walkthrough and the holder pens of the raptors, where they kind of shake and they're ready to be unleashed, and you can feel them and see them rattling around. It is one of the best storytelling, top-tier themed, most clever ways to go to the Jurassic World franchise if you are about that, and to help you build anticipation for this roller coaster. So I am terrified of VelociCoaster. I've walked by it multiple times. I'm not riding that. Nope. No. I think it looks awesome. I think Universal did a great job, as well as whoever they got to make it. But I'm not riding it. No, thank you. I don't do that. But I love the queue. It is so spectacularly done. One of the best interactive queues I've experienced. You're allowed to go on raptor tours. So that's what they call them. You can ask for a tour. And so we've done that, as well as I've kind of walked through it with people who are going to actually ride it, and then I just leave. But I think it's awesome. I love the raptors. I love Blue and Delta. I think that is incredibly done. They're super lifelike. I love the nods to the Jurassic World franchise, as well as Jurassic Park. I'm not a fan of Jurassic Park much, but I do like Jurassic World. And I think that they did a great job. There's a ton of tension as you go through the ride, like it builds through the attraction to get to the ride. And I'm just absorbed in that experience. And it is wonderful, especially that I'm not riding the coaster itself. It is phenomenal. The raptors are, like I said, very lifelike. And if you're a fan of the movie, I highly suggest you walk through the queue if you're not going to ride the ride. It is truly phenomenal, and therefore had to make our list. Third on our list for the Hey Disney Top 10 for Universal Orlando Resorts as a whole. Okay, so remember this is as a whole, is the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Orlando Resorts. So the whole Wizarding World. Universal Orlando Resorts features 2 magical lands per park dedicated to Harry Potter and the franchise. And that's at this current moment, okay? So there's the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Diagon Alley in Universal Studios, Florida. And then there's the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Hogsmeade and the Islands of Adventure Park. Each land captures the essence of the Harry Potter, so the beloved series everyone knows, to transport guests to the enriching and exciting world of Harry Potter and everything that is part of it. Diagon Alley allows guests to visit the bustling streets of London where their adventure begins. You have notable areas from the movies and the books, such as Leaky Cauldron. You're greeted by the cobblestone streets to see iconic shop like Ollivanders, where you can witness and select getting a wand. There's Gringotts Wizarding Bank, which serves as a gateway to the main attraction here located in the park, and you can actually get wizarding money at the bank. There's so many wonderful things here. And then you have the various thrill rides, like I said, Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, where you can see Ron, Harry, and Hermione go through the bank while dodging the Death Eaters. I don't know what those are, everybody, but I'm just saying, I had to look all this stuff up. And encounter a dragon animatronic to make the experience feel more alive. And then you have Hogsmeade on the other park, which enchants visitors to a village that sets as a backdrop from the Hogwarts castle. Here you explore Hogsmeade shops such as Honeydukes. You have a joke shop, and then the primary attraction here is Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, that takes you through a thrilling journey through Hogwarts, and you get to see a lot of beloved characters and immersive scenes from the film and book franchise. And apparently there's a Quidditch match here. There's also the attraction Flight of the Hippogriff, which is a family-friendly coaster. Okay. Lastly, at all of these, there's the Hogwarts Express, which is a connector train between the two lands that allow guests to travel seamlessly if they have a park-to-park ticket between Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley. And it features various scenes and characters from the film and the book, makes you step into the franchise, and it's really, really cool. So all of that to say, you would think I know what I'm talking about. Honestly, I have no clue. I love these areas of Universal Orlando resorts because I think they're incredibly immersive and beautifully crafted. I am not a huge fan of Harry Potter at all. I am not a fan of Harry Potter. Let's stay there. I've never read the books. I've never seen any of the films except for the first one and the fourth one. And that was like once. But I am fully absorbed in the magic of all of this and how they brought it to life when I step in. I do have family and friends who have seen and been into Harry Potter, so I've gotten a little bit more information. However, all of this was really new to me when I went to Universal to see it, and I could still follow along with the theme. My mom, who's visited Universal Orlando resorts, for instance, agrees with me when I say that the theming here surpasses anything Disney has done in terms of an immersive land. The attention to detail and effort that they have put into anything Harry Potter to make it look authentic is phenomenal. It is absolutely amazing, and I highly suggest that you check it out. Even if you don't like Harry Potter, never seen it, I highly suggest it. When I was here one time with my cousin, she's really into Harry Potter, and she was pointing everything out and explaining to me, this is what it looked like in the film, this is what it looked like, or described as, in the books, and she said it was perfectly done. So I highly suggest, beyond words, to check this out, even if you're not a huge Harry Potter fan, because it is phenomenally done, and it's one of the best themings for land I have ever seen. I personally am really looking forward to the Ministry of Magic at Epic Universe. I know that Fantastic Beasts is a hot topic among Harry Potter people. They either like it or hate it. I don't know why. But the whole thing at Epic Universe is based off of the Ministry of Magic. And I think it looks, from the concept art and from videos I've seen, it looks excellent. And from what I have seen of Universal Orlando resorts for Harry Potter within Island of Adventure and at, oh my goodness, what is the other one called? Universal Studios Orlando, they did an amazing job. And so I think that the Epic Universe portion of the Wizarding World is bound to be amazing. And that is why these had to be included in our top 10. Fourth on our list is The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man at Islands of Adventure. For those of us who don't know, The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man is a thrilling dark ride located in the Marvel superhero island within Islands of Adventure at Universal Orlando Resort. It's a multi-sensory attraction that combines 3D animatronics with live action kind of set pieces, as well as special effects to create an immersive experience that puts guests right in the middle of a high-stakes adventure with Spider-Man. So you board your vehicle, you're transported to the bustling streets of New York City. Why is it always New York City? Like Men in Black was in New York, Spider-Man's in New York, so many things are in New York. But you go through and you encounter various iconic villains such as Dr. Octopus, the Green Goblin, the Vulture, and so many other things from Spider-Man. And you're able to help him save the city. So I'm going to abridge all of the description and just say to you that I personally love the amazing adventures of Spider-Man. It can make me a little bit nauseous because it has various thrilling drops, twists, turns, all within it, and it kind of swings you in the vehicle. But I just take my 3D glasses off. This attraction is amazing. I love Marvel. I know Spider-Man, it ended up getting acquired by Marvel with their deal with Sony for the MCU, yada, yada, yada. And this is based off the original kind of Spider-Man pre-MCU. So go into that knowing it. However, I think it does a great job of bringing the Spider-Man franchise to life. Like I said, when I start feeling nauseous, I take off my 3D glasses and just enjoy all of the elements without it. And you can still do that. It's a really fun attraction and a really fun thrill ride while not being like overloaded. And I don't know why, I just really do love the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. And I think the queue is really well done to the comic book accurate Spider-Man and the film franchise that is based off of it with Sony opposed to the MCU, but really excellent, and I highly suggest you check it out. And that is why it most certainly had to make our list. Call me crazy, but number 5 on our list is the Universal Orlando Resort's churros. I really do love these. They're a delicious snack that perfectly captures all churro aspects within the theme parks. Like, you can always find churros at theme parks. I don't know why, but it's fun. It's tasty. So most of you who've had a churro know that they're typically served warm and come dusted with a generous amount of cinnamon sugar coating that is just so amazing and crunchy and irresistible. At Universal Orlando, you can find them often in various theme parks, like snack stands kind of areas, and they make a really easy grab and go tasty treat for guests, and you don't have to sit down and eat them. Okay. What makes it better is the fact that these are super, super crispy on the outside and super soft and chewy on the inside. Universal does occasionally offer a unique flavor and dipping sauces like chocolate and caramel to elevate the experience, but I like the original churro. I like wandering through the park with one in one hand, with a slushie in the other, and the few times I've been there, and just enjoy my day. I love these. They are way better than ones at Walt Disney World. They remind me, okay, crazy person here, they remind me of being at Costco as a kid, because Costco used to have churros here. They were awesome. And I've heard that Disneyland's churros are really good, and like Walt Disney World doesn't do a good job. I agree, Walt Disney World's churros are not the best. I think Universal does an amazing job. They're a really fun snack that I have, and I associate them being that good with Universal Orlando. So every time I think of it, it makes me want to go back to Universal Orlando, and that is why I had to choose it for our top 10 here on Hey Disney Top 10. But if you're in the parks, please get a churro. They are phenomenal. Our 6th item here on our top 10 for Universal Orlando Resorts is the commitment to Halloween Horror Nights. The Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Orlando is a premier annual event that transports the park into a thrilling nightmare. It's held every fall, and it's an event that is renowned for its immersive haunted houses, its terrifying scare zones, and its live entertainment to evoke the spirit of Halloween and absolute sheer horror into its guests. So each year, Universal collaborates with some of the most iconic horror franchises in film and television, and sometimes music, like they've thrown in The Weeknd here. It's really cool, actually, to create themed experience that draws fans into the horror world. They have creepy classics to fright fests and everything in between, and the haunted houses that they build off these are designed from very stunning attention to detail and have very elaborate set pieces, immersive special effects, and top-notch actors that bring it all to life. Not just that, at Halloween Horror Nights, they also have various places where guests can wander through, such as Scare Zone, where unexpected scares and creepy characters will lurk around every corner and heighten your adrenaline. They also have various themed foods and drinks that help you indulge in the spirit of Halloween in Halloween Horror Nights. It is really well done. It is not just a seasonal attraction, it's a celebration of all things horror. And for anybody who is into that, it is a must visit. So you would think by the sounds of that, I'd like to go. Nope. I personally will not be going to Halloween Horror Nights. The only way I'd be going to it is if my cousin, she loves all like things creepy and Halloweeny and scary and all that. If she wanted me to join, I would consider going. And that is a stretch. She made me go one time. Myself, my husband, and her sister, she had us all go to a haunted house. I was like, nope. I got there and was like, you know what? I hope you have a good time. I am out. Nope. I can't do it. It scared the heck out of me. My husband took one for the team and went with my cousin, and they had a good time. My husband's like, I'll never go through this again. But we were like, no, I'm out. So I don't do scary. I don't do Halloween. I don't do anything like that. However, I really admire that Universal puts everything into this event. It's really excellent. It's phenomenal what they do with the actors. They do a great job. Their attention to detail and their immersion is over the top, and I applaud their commitment to it. They have basically one event, like extra ticketed event. I know Mardi Gras has different tickets for concerts. I know they do a really great job for the holidays, but this is like their go-to, and I think they put everything into it, and they did a really great job. Like we talked about the Harry Potter theming, this is like that. Personally, like I said, I'm not really gonna experience it in person, probably, but I love watching the house walkthroughs. I do it with the sound off because it doesn't scare me, and seeing videos from people like allears.net and Mammoth Club, and I watch them on YouTube each year that they come out because I think they do such a phenomenal job. And I really do applaud them for that. So for me, it's the creativity and the performance of all of it and their commitment to Halloween in this that puts it on our top 10 list. It is well done, and I truly applaud them. 7th on our list here, and it's kind of like the Chiro, like it's a weird one, but I really love the Universal Studios Resorts refillable mugs. So these mugs are a convenient and cost-effective way to stay drinking your amazing sodas during your park visit. So they're priced at about $15.99 US plus taxes, and they're a really durable mug that allows guests to enjoy unlimited fountain drinks, iced teas, and so excitingly ices, so the slushies, throughout the park for a specific time period. And it's typically the length of your ticket. However, you can actually get it reactivated for a nominal fee. It's got a really iconic design for the Universal branding on the mugs, and they look like the Walt Disney World refillable mugs. I think they're a little bit bigger, if I'm not mistaken, to what we had. But these mugs can be refilled at various locations. They're Coke-free style machines, so making it really easy if you need something to drink and you want an iced tea or a soda, whatever it is. And like I said, I think one of the standout features of this mug is that they have a reactivation option. So you can bring it back for future visits and reactivate them. You don't actually have to go back and repurchase a resort refillable mug. So I'm using that as it. For instance, every time you go to Walt Disney World, you have to get a resort refillable mug. Universal, you can bring yours back, and it's great for the same day benefits for any subsequent trips that you have. So it saves you money, but also it gets you a really fun mug to have, and you can bring it back or you can buy a new one if you want. And I think the reactivation fee is amazing. I also love that these refillable mugs can be used, one, for ices, because I'm a big slushy person. I'm not a huge pop person or soda. I like Sprite only exclusively in the States, or if I'm eating tacos and pizza. Same with Coke. That's Disney fries and cheese. It's very good. But I love ices, and I think it's great. You can get the slushy part of it because, like I said, one of my all-time favorite treats. But I also think that this mug option is way better than Walt Disney World's. So the concept of buying it for the duration of your stay, be able to reactivate it, and use it in the parks, as well as drink options like ices and iced tea, make it way better. If you're thirsty, you need a drink, you can just go to one of these stations, scan that little code that it has embedded in the cup, and it activates it. It's bing, bang, boom. I generally think that this idea should be brought over to Walt Disney World because the resort refillable mug only works in the resorts for the length of your stay. And I truly think that this is a much better option to have these machines, for instance, at the quick service locations. So you don't have to actually purchase a drink. You just get it included in your package or whatever it is and bringing the resort refillable mugs into the park. Truly game changer for Walt Disney World. But I have to highlight this because of that. I really do like every aspect of this mug, and I think it is a great option and commend Universal for it. So that is why it had to make our list. Taking the 8th spot on our list here is the Universal Studios and Universal Islands of Adventure. I'm just using those right now, but the Express Pass. So the Universal Orlando Resorts Express Pass is a fantastic option for guests looking to maximize their time by skipping the regular lines at various attractions. There are 2 types of Express Passes. There's single-use Express Pass, and I believe it's called multiple-use Express Pass. So the single-use Express Pass allows you to skip the line at each attraction that is included once. That's it. You go to it, you're good, you're done. Multi-use allows you to do it and skip those lines all the time, as many times as you want to throughout that same day. The Express Pass is a game changer for those visiting the park during peak times and helps you experience more attractions with shorter wait times. Additionally, some annual passes have Express Pass included, and it typically applies after 4 p.m. So if you're frequent and local to the parks, it's really great to have this on it. Additionally, if you book a stay at Universal's premier hotels, you can get a complimentary unlimited Express Pass or multiple Express Pass for the duration of your stay to enhance your park experience. So it's only for the premier hotels that are on the resort, and you get that unlimited Express Pass for the duration of your visit. So that means from the day you check in to the day you check out, skipping rides, lines all the time. I think, honestly, the Express Pass is the only way I will ever do Universal Orlando Resorts. It's an incredible benefit because some of the lines can be exceptionally long, and I also think this Express Pass is a way better design than Walt Disney World. With Express Pass, you don't have to reserve a time. You can just show up. You don't have to deal with apps. You don't have to have notifications, none of that. You show up, you scan your band. Haha. And you tell them at Walt Disney World all the time. You scan your park ticket or annual pass, and away you go. You use it whenever you want to. You don't have to worry about dining reservations. If you got stuck in another line, whatever it is, you just go when you want to go. I also like that the top tier annual passes, as well as the premier hotels, get this included because it is a phenomenal perk. I truly believe Walt Disney World could improve their Lightning Lane system by adopting the Express Pass kind of system where top tier annual passes or any annual passes get some access or at least a discount on their Lightning Lanes, as well as not having to reserve a time, because I really like the flexible approach that Universal provides. They truly shine in this aspect, and that is why I had to include it in our top 10 for Hey Disney Top 10. The 9th item I would like to talk about for our Hey Disney Top 10 for Universal Orlando Resorts is their customer service after a negative experience. I really want to highlight a really wonderful corporate concept, which is customer service and positive customer interactions and experiences. So, when I was in Universal Orlando Resorts in April 2024, you can find this detailed actually on the Happily Adventures After blog under the Week in the World, and we have 2 posts actually on this. So you can see everything that went down. But after that visit, we had a kind of an unexpected, unpleasant experience in a way. With that being said, I reached out to Universal Orlando and just said, hey, this was our visit. We weren't expecting some of the negative attributes that occurred. I just wanted to let you know. Their response was, I am so sorry. Here are complimentary express passes and tickets to use whenever you want to come back one time and retry or Universal Orlando Resorts and hopefully change your perception of it. Honestly, my perception wasn't that bad of Universal Orlando Resorts. I'd been there before. I just wanted to notify them of some instances that had gone on while we were in the parks, and for them to turn around and say, hey, here are complimentary express pass and tickets for one day to come back basically and change your mind, was wonderful. This level of commitment to guest satisfaction at a corporate level speaks volume about their dedication to improving customer experiences, to lead kind of their teams and their team members that work in the park, and encourage repeat visits and word of mouth to bring in people. They were amazing. And at this time, I hadn't even, for instance, done this blog. Like, I didn't mention any of that. It was just us saying, hey, we experienced, for instance, people were walking around without their shoes on. We experienced that. We experienced people being really like rude and throwing things at people. It was weird. But all of that to say is they reached out and it was, I'm so sorry, we'll talk to people about that. Plus, here you go. They did a great job. And I believe that this approach not only fosters a wonderful reputation, but it builds brand loyalty and guest loyalty. Like I said, bringing that word of mouth, which is, as you know, within corporate leadership, word of mouth and getting that traction is a really, really big concept. And they did a great job, and it was a great strategy for a theme park to do. I think that the proactive customer service really expresses their ability and of understanding to create a positive experience for all visitors. I truly appreciate their efforts. I'm being transparent saying they provided these complimentary express passes and tickets because of that, but that wasn't what we were expecting, and they went above and beyond. So truly, I have to give that Universal their credit where credit is due on this one, and that's why I had to make our list. Last but not least, for the Universal Orlando Resort's top 10 for the HAA Disney top 10 is Universal Orlando Resort layout. What do I mean by that? But I really do appreciate the concept of the ground layout. Universal Orlando Resorts has a really unique layout, much like Disneyland in California. When you arrive, I'm not talking about any of the hotels. I'm talking about when you arrive to the resort theme park area. You arrive to a central area that makes it easy. So you go through parking and drop off within the same area, and it's a giant parking garage for both Universal Orlando Park, the Island of Adventure, as well as Volcano Bay Water Park. Epic Universe will be different because Epic Universe is in a completely different area, so I'm just talking about this area. Once you get through the park, you are streamlined to a single security line, and you go through a checkpoint much like the airport. So you're not having to go, if you go to CityWalk and both parks, you don't constantly go through security, which you do at Walt Disney World. Once you get through security, and that seamless transition is there because you go through CityWalk, which is like basically Disney Springs for those who don't know. You go through CityWalk, you get yourself into the park area of CityWalk, and then it branches out to each park. This simple branch off makes it excellent to navigate between each park and CityWalks. Then when you go into CityWalk and when you go and pick your park, you can either go back if you're park hopping through CityWalk, or you, if you have a park-to-park ticket, can take the Harry Potter, the train, in which my brain just completely went. Okay, so you got where I went there. So I think that they're basically shaped as a circle, and from that parking garage square, you go into the circle. It's a really smart way to do things. So I have to say, and I've heard Disneyland is like this. I haven't been to Disneyland in quite some time, honestly. And so I just wanted to highlight this because I think it's really, really well done and enhances guest experience beyond belief. And it's a perfect complement to your time there because you can be immersed, park your car, go between CityWalk, go between each of the parks. If you want to eat outside of CityWalk, super easy to go back in. Unlike Disney, and I understand Disney's the way they do it, Walt Disney World, and I think it is a great, great feature, but you can just, it's all just right there. Do I like going to Disney Springs after a Disney park day? Yes. However, I'm just saying, I think this layout is really well done. So that is why I had to make our list. So that is a wrap, everyone. We wrapped up our HAA Disney top 10 for Universal Orlando Resort. I hope to you that through our top 10, it was evident to know that you can experience an amazing adventure at Universal Orlando Resorts, from their ability to be creative, their customer service, their layout, various attractions and rides, and their immersion. It is phenomenal. Through their various thrilling attractions like VelociCoaster and my personal favorite, the Queue, to a fun 3D adventure, or 4D, adventure with the amazing adventures of Spider-Man, to getting some churros and ices, to having that excellent refillable mug that you can pick up there. Everything can be just really well done while you're in Universal Orlando. If you are experiencing the richly themed wizarding world of Harry Potter, which I think, amazing theming. you can have a great time. Or if you're in and doing the various layout, like the circle layout of Universal Orlando, and experience the lively atmosphere of CityWalk while you're there, all of it can be designed to ensure you have a great, wonderful adventure while you're at Universal Orlando Resort and make sure it is truly unforgettable. So I hope those top picks for Universal Orlando Resort really helped you out to kind of paint a greater picture on different things within the Universal Orlando Resort, because though I've only been a handful of time, these things really stand out to me and I truly wanted to share them with you. As you know, here at Happily Adventures After, we're really excited to help you make the most of your trips no matter where you're going. Usually it's centered around Walt Disney World, but as we talked about today, Universal Orlando Resort had some really wonderful things and overall favorites. But I'd love to hear from you. What are your top picks from Universal Orlando Resorts? Were any of yours included here on our top 10 list? Have you ever encountered something at Universal Orlando that they made so much better because the team members working for them really went out above and beyond? Have you ever been to Horror Nights? Would you like to share your experience? Did you not like anything we said today? Whatever it is, you let us know. Join in the conversation here on our podcast, here on YouTube, as well as check out our blog, Happily Adventures After, to continue to explore and share some of the magic of Walt Disney World, as well as the surrounding areas and off-property things like Universal Orlando Resorts. Your stories, your comments, your insights all enrich the community of Walt Disney World, and us, as we joke, always Disney adults, but it just makes for a really fun and wonderful time. I can't wait to hear about your adventures, so please let us know. Also, stay tuned for more tips, updates, behind the scenes look at all things Disney, and sometimes even off property like we discussed today, and they'll all be shared here on Hey Disney, either top 10 or Hey Disney We Need a Review, as well as our blog, Happily Adventures After. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at Happily Adventures After, and like I said, join in that conversation. Well, I guess that's it. I can't wait to go back to Universal Orlando Resorts to experience so much more. And like I said, hopefully break it down between each park and like CityWalk like we did with Walt Disney World. All that being said, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a blessed and amazing day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.